The E-Levy is perhaps one of the most controversial bills ever laid before Parliament. This is the bill that turned Ghana's Parliament into a boxing ring. Many Ghanaians complained and criticized the E-Levy, insisting the government would reverse the gains made on the mobile money front. Ghanaians cited examples of countries where taxes on mobile money had caused a reduction in the volume of transactions. For example, Tanzania taxed mobile money in July last year, and peer-to-peer transactions dropped by 38%, from 30 million to 18 million per month. But the listening NPP government decided to ignore all concerns the public expressed. It seemed they were ready to kill the goose that laid the golden eggs. It was almost as if the tax was the cure to all of Ghana's economic problems.
I think that is something that is there's nothing so, and the E-Levy is not Ghana, it's the only country that has something like a digital tax. Many countries, they will not like it. People never like taxes. I don't know any group of people, especially businesses, when taxes are brought to them that like it.
I'm happy that the House has finally found it possible to pass the E-Levy bill. I believe strongly the levy is going to make a significant contribution to revenue mobilization and the management of the national economy.
The E-Levy is also going to help with the fiscal consolidation effort and reduce the debt levels of our country. We are going to see an improved economic ratings and not returning to the International Monetary Fund, which is the only solution our friends on the other side have always preferred. Why don't you go to the IMF? Go to the IMF. We have shown that we have alternatives to building the economy of this country without resorting to conditionalities that will be imposed on this country. We will not go to the IMF today, we will not go to IMF tomorrow, and we are not going as long as the NPP remains in power.
So they passed the tax into law, and the GRA enthusiastically started implementation. In spite of numerous technical and operational problems, the Revenue Authority announced their excitement at a yield of 1 million cedis a day from the largest vendor on the very first day.
One of the charging entities which own more than 70% of the population, we saw his tax bill. And I started smiling and clapping because it was good.
How much was it?
It's in excess of 1 million.
Okay.
For just one charging entity.
Now do the maths. 1 million cedis a day for even a whole year would only bring in 365 million cedis. But the tax was expected to yield some 4.5 billion Ghana cedis. The GRA has stopped being so forthcoming with information about how much money they are collecting these days. They say it's early days yet. Government, of course, was optimistic that the collections would go up. Enter Imani. The think tank says that their research shows that 83% of Ghanaians have changed their mobile money habits because of the E-Levy. Then we saw tweets from the president's cousin, Gabi Asare-Okyere-Darko, that mobile money is not generating enough revenue. At this point, was anyone surprised? Government had been warned, hadn't they? Several times, in fact. Then the GRA announced again that the mobile money merchants' accounts will be taxed. Now, this has sparked a new onslaught of complaints by the merchants, but government is still not listening. JoyNews would like to share a profound quote by the former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe with the president and the managers of our economy. Shinzo Abe said, "When I served as Prime Minister last time, I failed to prioritize my agenda. I was eager to complete everything at once and ended my administration in failure. After resigning, for 6 years, I traveled across the nation simply to listen." We know the president and his team have no challenge with traveling across the country, but we sincerely hope that they are not as challenged when it comes to listening. because the people are telling you in clear, unambiguous language that things are hard. We are saddled with unprecedented debt and our credit rating is plummeting. Nobody on the market is willing to lend to us at realistic rates, and as a nation, we are already spending more money on servicing our debts than any other item on our budget. Experts started to call on government to run to the IMF. The finance minister and other appointees rubbished this advice. Today, the president has chosen the IMF option. After resisting the obvious and delaying the inevitable for far too long, the president has finally taken the decision he should have taken months ago. Now, the thing about being in an IMF program is that you can no longer argue that you have been managing the economy well. Not with a straight face anyway. But we are still dozens of decisions away from being out of the woods. Here at Joy News, we are calling on the president to put pride aside and apologize to the people of Ghana for not listening to us. In order to retain our confidence in his stewardship, he must not sell unrealistic optimism. He must honestly manage our expectations. He must get it right this time and take the tough decisions that will steer us back to economic recovery. The listening government must remember how to listen before they are forced to.